Nothing in life is consistent. It doesn't matter what you compare it to, the weather, your school or work life, relationships, whatever. However, if life is inconsistent and always changing, it means the only consistent thing we have to rely on is change. The old adage, expect the unexpected, is one that I've always had a disdain towards. I've never liked those choice words, and the reason is because they're a contradiction. The entire idea behind the unexpected is that you can't expect it, and change falls very well into that idea and that category of the unexpected, because you never know when it's coming. Change is one of the most important things in our daily lives, because without it, things get stale. At this point in 2020, majority of us have been locked away in solitary confinement, quarantine, whatever the hell you want to call it, for way too long. We're all suffering the negative effects of it, whether it's depression, stress, anxiety, and many other negative side effects of the whole thing. And it's important that with life that we learn how to cope with and move along with change, or vice versa to that, make change ourselves to make sure that we don't get overwhelmed with life. Earlier this month, I started a challenge for myself. For 30 days, I was going to take cold showers, and that was the original concept of this video. It's the 27th, I've had one hot shower, and I don't see that changing in the next couple of days. And the only reason I had that hot shower was to relieve some sore muscles, and whenever I finished it, I went straight back to drenching myself in cold, freezing water. And I pretty much summed up the entirety of that video just now. But instead of talking about that cold shower, I'm instead talking about change, because that's what ended up happening this month. For all of 2020, I've been on this very strong focus of both content creation and putting my time and labor into my day job. I work 32 to 40 hours a week, and not only that, I put all of my spare time for the most part into either live streaming, recording videos for YouTube when it comes to gameplay, or doing what I'm doing right now with recording stuff for my personal YouTube channel. And I've been doing that since January, and I've let every single other thing in my life, when it comes to chores especially, not so much friendships or relationships, but chores, keeping up with the dirt and the grime and the dust in my room. My room's not grimy, but you get my point. I'm over-exaggerating it. Not only that, a pile of dirty laundry most of the time, 2 to 3 loads whenever I finally get around to doing it, and it stresses me out. I get this buildup of stress and stress and stress until it's just too much, and everything around me crumbles down, and I focus on that for a day. And the next day I feel guilty because I didn't work on what I actually needed to or wanted to work on. So this month I've decided to go in the process of making my own change, making a change for myself, my life, my environment, and anything else that might fall into that. And right behind me is kind of hard to see, but I have a stack of plastic bins, and I also have some over here. I just realized this poop hat's in frame. Well, that works. But yeah, I have all this stuff behind me, and this is pretty much almost everything that I owned inside my household. What I did is I went through everything that I had personally inside my room, and I took some of it, I'm selling some of it, I took the other of it, and I'm donating it because it's not something that I see a profit in, but I don't need it either, and everything else is going into labeled storage bins that are going to go in my room, so at any point I need to find something, control F on my computer, look up where it's at, and I immediately know what box to find it in, where that box is located. I get the item out, I mark that I've taken it out of the box, what I'm using it for, and then whenever I'm done with it, it goes back into the box. And with this sort of routine, it's very easy for me to keep track of everything in my room as well as keeping it organized. Because if everything's already put away, I can't have a huge mess of not knowing where anything is and then tear up everything apart and make an even bigger mess and then not have time to clean it up. Because after I found the item, I needed to use it and then I'm done with it. But time is very particular. It's hard to keep track of a lot. Time is hard to keep track of a lot of the time. This entire concept probably seems a little bit on the OCD side of things, and I'm not OCD. I am just one of those people that in my entire life I've lived the saying, if your head wasn't attached, you lose it. And I'm that to a T. That has always been who I am, and I'm frustrated with it. I'm tired of it, and I'm wanting to make a change with it, so I've decided to organize everything that I have to make sure that I don't lose it, and all of it goes right here on my computer or wherever else. I'm using the app called Notion to keep track of where everything's at. That way it's accessible wherever I might be at. I can log into it on the computer at work, here at the house, on my phone, and so on. And this entire idea of doing all this really just kind of came up all of a sudden. I decided to do it, start on it. I never filmed any of it. So I'm going to kind of go through the aftermath of it, where everything ended up, how it all turned out, and rather than just focus on the doing of it, but the result of it, and maybe things that you can also incorporate into your life or your organization that may be able to help you as well. So let's go ahead, wrap up here a little bit, and see where we end up. And truth be told, the biggest change to anything is actually my setup and my room. Everything in my room has been completely rearranged from the way it was originally laid out whenever I started making content several months ago. The way that I've done things is... how do I put this? I've made as much space as I can. And this is the outcome of it. This is my setup. This is my studio. This is where I do my editing, my filming, my gaming, my recording. All of that goes on right here. And I think this is going to be a very good layout and a very good spot for things to continue from here, as well as a view from this angle as well. Second is going to be storage and tidiness, which is something that you saw a little bit of earlier. Probably the most important thing that I added is a pegboard, which is very blurry right now, but I'll show you a little bit more of it in a second. With the pegboard, it's giving me the ability to not only organize everything that I have, but also make it so I have less space to store things. I had a 5-shelf bookshelf in here that was falling apart for like 20 bucks from Walmart, and all I did was I used it to store anything and everything I had onto it, and it was just a really bad choice of keeping myself tidy because it just became a place to put all my junk whenever I didn't want to go through it. Everything just got piled onto there. Not only that, in my closet, which you can see right there, you can actually see some of the totes up there, which again are kind of blurry. But these totes have everything in them and are lettered A through Z, as well as a double Z or double A for bigger totes. And I don't have that many, it's only A through E right now, but that's the progress of them, as they'll continually get added more letters as more stuff that I get. So I know where everything's at. And I'm using the app called Notion to kind of go through everything here and show where to find stuff. For example, here you can actually see my Notion where I have all of my storage at, and we have like letter A, and it has every single individual chord that I have labeled in here, so if I ever need to find them, I know where they are. And in the case I'd ever take anything out, all I would do is say, for in this case, like the 10-foot DisplayPort cable, I would put, you know, in use bedroom, and then I would know where I was at. It's going to immediately save. I can pull this up on my cell phone or whatever else, you know, log into a web browser, laptop, plenty of other things. And that's what I'm doing with this. In this case, I want to make sure that I actually take this off so I don't get confused when I don't remember that I did this before. And that's pretty much where I'm going to wrap this up. This video is fairly short and also kind of selfish, but the reason I did it is I do want to talk about change. I want to talk about it here at the end of the video as well. Change is one of these things that's always going to happen and persist through our lives, and it is on us to decide whenever we want to go along with that change or make a change for ourselves. I could have kept letting things pile up around me and never done anything and let the world and space around me change me, or, as I've done, actually taking the space around me and change it in the process of not only changing myself in a better direction, but not allowing the stress and anxiety of an environment that is bearing down on me change me for a negative way. So if you are the type of person that does have a lot of stuff, things are piling up around you, things are overwhelming you, take the time, go through those things and organize them, get rid of stuff. I will say it now, I got rid of a ton of stuff. I didn't go through what I had and organize it. I went through what I had and I got rid of the trash in my life. I took the things that I don't personally need that other people could use, that could need that, and donated it. And there's other stuff that have not personal value to me, but have physical and monetary value that can help me, support me in other ways that I've also taken and I'm attempting to sell online. Oh God, voice. Speaking too fast, but I have stuff that I'm trying to sell online currently that have monetary value that I don't personally have a use anymore. For example, a mixer. There's an old mixer I've had it for years. They run for about $160 now, but I bought mine for $80 because there's been a huge price influx on mixers lately. I don't know why, but I'm trying to sell it for like $70, $50 right now. You know, something reasonably priced for the fact that I only bought it for $80, but at the same time knowing how much money it's worth nowadays, brand new. So take a look into your life, look at around you, see what you have, see what's unorganized, what could be used to change your environment for your betterment. It's a hard thing to get started with. I am practicing minimalism along with this. I'm not too far into it yet. I still have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of stuff that I've not gone into yet because it's not in my house. I have a lot of stuff that's put into a family storage unit that I need to go through because I have several cardboard boxes full of junk that I know I don't need, that need to either go in the trash or get sold to somebody else or even donated for somebody else's use later down the line. Anyway, though, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you for watching. If you have any tips or tricks for me, possibly to try out, please let me know. And if you take any of this and try to implement it into your life, tell me how it went. At me on Twitter, or even leave it in the comments of this video. You all have a great one. This is me, Andrew, signing off, saying goodbye. Thank you all so much. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy the video, make sure to hit the dislike button. And if you have any comments for things I can improve, let me know. And also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content in the future. You all have a lovely day. This is me, Andrew, signing off and saying goodbye.